He's an NHL legend, author, country musician, and the man behind Persephone Theatre's latest production. Theo Fleury joins me now. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
So now this play has gone across kind of the western provinces, first time here in Saskatoon. You've obviously seen it a number of times. Is it difficult to watch, or do you enjoy it, or is it a mixture?
Well, I that's a very fair question, but, I played in New York and was a huge fan of Broadway. Used to go to a bunch of plays, so, I sort of went as a, just a theater lover, and, Sean Smith has done an incredible job of playing me, and I've gone with friends, I've gone with, my partner, and, when you go see, a movie or a play or whatever, you want all of your emotions to come to the forefront. And, we laughed, we cried, we got angry, all these things. And so, and that's really the sign of a great actor, when he can bring those emotions out of you by watching what he's doing. And so I've really enjoyed it, and I'm so glad that the people of Saskatoon that have seen the play, because I see tweets and pictures and all that, so it's been really great.
It has been getting rave reviews, and I had the opportunity to interview Sean, and I've had the opportunity to interview you, and he plays you so well. Like, you get confused whether I'm interviewing Theo or Sean.
Right. Yes,
I know. Insane.
Yeah. And, obviously, this being the fourth run of the play, I'm sure that he's probably getting a little sick of, being me at this point. And, I'm a complex guy, and I've lived quite a life, but I think the message is really what it's all about, is that nobody's immune to childhood trauma. I think we've all experienced some sort of traumatic experience in our life, and it's caused us to, sort of gravitate to the dark side of life to deal with the emotional pain and scars that are left from that childhood trauma. And, at some point in our life, we're either exhausted or sick of living in emotional pain, and we have a decision to make. And so when that decision happens, we sort of have this spiritual awakening and start to peel the layers of the onion off and get to the core of what our issues are. And from there, then we can start to heal.
One thing you've said in the past that is such a powerful phrase, you say you're not a victim, you're a victor. And it's very key for everyone to use that word, to use victor.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's different stages. You do start out as a victim, but then you become a survivor, and then somewhere along the line you become, an advocate for the cause, because you don't ever want another child to have to go through what you've gone through, and then at the end you're a victor. And so, I think it's the opposite, victim and victor. And but I think more importantly is the media has treated this subject poorly, and we are now educating the media as to how to talk to us. And like I said to you earlier, if I was a victim, first of all, I would have probably played some role or some part in what happened to me, and I didn't. I was an innocent kid, with dreams and aspirations of becoming an NHL player, and I run into this guy who happens to be a pedophile, and the rest is sort of history. But we've made a lot of strides and a lot of headway. Look at yesterday, 140 million tweets on Bell Let's Talk. So mental health is the biggest epidemic on the planet, and trauma, addictions, and mental health, they all live in the same house. And so we're starting to bring that awareness, that education, and I think people are really starting to understand what this is, all about.
And Bell Let's Talk, it is such a big part for us here at CTV. How important is it to create not just a community, but a world where we live in a place where people can talk about any issue that they're having openly without feeling shame or a stigma behind it?
Right. And, we use a word called trigger. And so if somebody tells their story and you've experienced the same as then, it's going to trigger them. And what the first emotion that it triggers is anger and resentment. And so that person, lashes out maybe in the wrong way. But, like I said, I think we've come a long ways. We have a longer way to go. But I think it's all about safety, creating safety. And fortunately, along the way in my recovery, I've met a lot of people that are okay with my story and okay with me telling, every detail. And we wrote a book called Conversation with a Rattlesnake that goes through all that healing process and what it takes. And we sort of modeled that conversation. And, the book is done really well. And so, we will keep, putting one foot in front of the other and, helping as many people as we can.
Well, we appreciate you always being open and honest with us. And if you haven't had a chance to read either of Theo's books or see the play, I definitely recommend it. Thank you so much for taking the time.
You're very welcome.